Hi, welcome to Alaska and the Philippines, currently in Thailand. Today I thought I'd address the issue of boredom and loneliness when you leave your home country and move into Asia or anywhere actually. For me, when you actually get on and you're all set and you've sold all your stuff or gave everything away and got rid of your house and you're ready to jump on a plane, you really got to reach down and get all the testicular fortitude you can muster to get on that plane alone and go to a strange country where you don't even know anybody and you probably don't even speak the language. So that's can be kind of a daunting thing, and for real it really is. When you get here, you're gonna, just like if you pulled up roots and where you're living, say you lived in Nebraska and you pulled up roots and you moved to LA or somewhere in Maine, you wouldn't know anybody when you get there. You'd be lost. You wouldn't know where the supermarkets were, but you can use Google and all that stuff now. But yeah, so you can function, but you've totally given up on your social life back there. You can still talk to people on the phone and chat and video chat and all that, just like you can in another country. But it's pretty much the same thing. Except the drive, you could always drive back and see them, or cheaply or easily, somewhat easily, maybe not easily and maybe not cheaply if you're on the other side of the US too, So it is something to consider when you do that. No matter where you are, you're gonna go through a period where you don't have any friends and you don't know anybody, and it's kind of be a lonely feeling. And if you're not working and you're retired and this is your retirement, and for a lot of you that's the beginning of your retirement, you're like, well, you're trying to start off dropping everything you used to do and know and work for every day, getting up and working, and had a purpose in life, and all of a sudden you got no friends, no purpose in life, and you're in a strange country and no one wants to talk to you. And it can be a tough situation. And how do you deal with it? For me, I lived in Alaska in a remote area, and I was always kind of remote, but I have a big circle of friends. I knew the whole village. The whole village was my friend. And when I go into the town, I say hi and hello and can chat with everybody. And I know this guy, I worked with him, I went hunting with him. So there's a whole social life there if I want to choose it. If I go into town, I'll see all these people. And few do stop out and see me, even though I lived out in the edge of town. Wasn't that terribly far, so I got visitors, and I was buying antler and stuff, so I was always dealing with people. So they'd come and I'd buy antler right out of the house and stuff, so I was dealing with people. But here I've dropped all my friends, dropped my business, just cold turkey on my business and friends, and came right out here not knowing anybody here in Thailand anyway. I really didn't know. I know of some few people in the Philippines, not that many either. So here I am completely alone, no friends, don't know where I'm at, and don't know the language. And it can be a tough situation, if you live this life. There are a lot of foreigners here, but you'll find out when you get to Asia, the foreigners ain't as friendly as if you were in an airport in Seattle chatting with the guy next to you, no problem, you're sitting there waiting. But here once you're in the Philippines or Thailand, the foreigners kind of ignore each other. You'll notice that. It's kind of they'll walk right by without looking at each other. And I don't know, there's probably a reason for it, but I try to, and that's, so now I'm kind of in the habit of doing it too, because a lot of times I'll try to say hi or something and they'll just ignore you and walk by. Of course, a lot of them are Russian too, so they're not speaking my language, and they kind of don't want to strike up a conversation either, so that's the problems you'll find here in Thailand anyway. So yeah, you really don't have much at all to do. It's important that you get yourself into some activities, like for me, I'm doing this YouTube thing, even though it's kind of boring. It's something to do. It gets me out in the day. I got to try to go out and look for some content or think about content and about creating stuff, so it is. You got to get your creative juices going and do a little tech stuff, upload of, stupid little small things, thumbnails and stuff, figure that. So that's something to do. And but my basic day is pretty basic and simple and boring. I wake up usually about 4 o'clock in the morning or 5. If I sleep in till 5, that's pretty late. But I get up at 4 and I'll watch news on YouTube and then drink 2 2 cups of tea, and by 6:30 I'm out the door and I'm headed to the beach. I walk up the beach as far as I can before the water's high, up to the wall, and then I walk down the other way as far as I can. So, and then I'll come back up to the room for a minute, usually cool off just a minute, and then I'll walk up the shade of the buildings. Like the whole side of this road is shaded with these big condos, so there's a shade over there. It's always important. I don't want to get cooked out on the beach after about 8 o'clock. I try to get off the beach. So if I need to walk more, and then I walk up the road, and then I'll walk down to the other mall, and then back home, and then that's usually a couple-hour walk. And then I'll work on my YouTube videos and look for video and make a video if I have to. And at the same time, after that I'll start exercising, and I do in-room exercising, and I'll do that. I'll exercise for about 2 hours or an hour and a half. Usually I'm not working real hard at it. I'm watching videos. I'll take a break, watch video, and then do some more exercising and stuff. So that, and then I'll walk out. I'll even take another walk out down and check the beach sometimes and watch the kite surfers in the early afternoon. But then nothing much else to do, and then I come home and I'll usually take a nap for a while. It's 1:30, 2 or 3 in the afternoon. I'll take a short nap, and then I'll wake up around 4:30, or I'll take a short nap, get up, and then got to eat something. Don't eat. I'm only eating once a day lately, so I wait till about 4:30, and the sun's getting a little lower and there's shade again. You always got to watch for shade. That's where I walk. So I'll walk up the beach in the shade. Go up to a mall and I'll get some food there. Usually there's markets. I can go to the markets and get food. They have a night market I can walk to and get food. So I've got plenty of entertainment. But then again, here I am off getting food. I go back. Usually I just take it out. I'll take it back home, and I'll walk back home and eat it. Eat my food in the room here, and then it's evening, the sun's setting. I'll go down to the beach and take a nice long evening walk to try to burn off some of the blood sugar from the food I'm eating on my meal. And that's basically my day, and that means there's no, I'm not talking to anybody that whole day and that wake up and it's Groundhog Day again tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll do the same thing pretty much, and that's all I do. On Saturday I'll have some social contact with my friend. At 7 in the evening, we'll go meet across the street here at a Thai restaurant, and we'll eat sushi and chat and talk, and she'll practice English, and she's doing real good, but we can communicate, and that's my only social life, really, and that's talking to a 5-year-old for about an hour or two, So she's real busy this high season, so she can't even go out to the temples like we used to go out and take rides to temples and stuff, but she's just busy right up till 7 p.m. every night. It's crazy busy. So anyway, that's my social life. 1 outing a week, having dinner with somebody, and I'm lucky to have met her. I can see a lot of people. It's hard to meet people in another country if you don't speak the language, And if you're not used to coming out of your shell, or have no confidence, or not great looking, which I'm not either, and I don't have any confidence when it comes to women, it's really hard for me to approach a woman. I just don't really do it. And it's hard to date if you're not doing that. This girl, I did ask her out, surprisingly, because I met her twice. But normally you just walk up cold and meet a girl and say, "Hi, how you doing? Here's my number." I've never done that much. I really don't know if I want to. But it's probably a good way to do it, and I probably should. So if you're that type of guy, you're going to have a lonely life here, just like me. I've been here, and I've been here almost going on 6 or 7 months going on. So in Asia, and I do know a couple of people I just casual talk to. I've met some people here in the same building. Some people have came up and said hi to me that saw my channel. Maybe half a dozen people have, and they're in town or passing through town. And I've actually went up and said hi to other YouTubers too. I've seen that I've known. So we've kind of chatted back and forth, and they know me a little bit now too. So I do know a few people, but it ain't like you got a best friend or nothing like that. That would be good to do. And if you could find a girlfriend, that would really, really help. That would really help with your boredom and loneliness. But that can be hard too here in Thailand and in Philippines too. It's getting to the point, if you're in an expat area where you're able to talk to other expats, a lot of the Filipinas are pretty, they're jaded towards a lot of the foreigners by then too. You're nothing special, and they'll kind of ignore you there too. So you really have to, plan on coming out of your shell. Maybe, I would suggest get out in the evening, take a walk, go down to the boulevard and actually sit around and maybe try to walk up and talk to somebody and ask where they're from or something, just strike up conversation. Or you can get into a language class. That would also enable you to meet some people. That's a good thing. Like here, they have kite surfing and stuff. You can get into a kite surfing school if you had a lot of money and stuff. You could join a kite surfing school, and there's a lot of all kinds of foreigners there. You'd be meeting them. You'd be friends. The Thais there speak English. Some of the foreigners speak Thai. I've heard them speak in Thai at them kite schools. E-foil, if you know how to do wing foil, there's schools and classes you can take. You'll meet people doing that. You can there's a language class. That would be another one you'd want to get into language class. You'll meet other people. Make a border run, get into one of these van bus situations where you're going to be taking a ride to another country in a van to stamp your passport. You'll be along with probably another 10 foreigners, and you're going to be trapped in a van with those for a day. You'll end up knowing them by the end of the day a little bit, and some you can make friends with too, So that's a few tips. And then, of course, there's the easy way out. Go to a bar. They're going to have chicks hanging all over you. You'll have the drunk guy next to you want to tell you his life story, and the other guy's chicks hanging around wanting money, So I don't know. You can buy some friends there, or have the friends, and you'd probably get to know a whole bunch of people really fast. And they're probably good people too, and if you're a drinker and that's your social life and you want to wind down in the bars in your later years after you spent your life working, I'm not going to begrudge you that. But yeah, that's the way to do it too, I guess, if that's your style. But anyway, on the beach, I'm walking around and I'm waiting, and you can bump into people here and there, and I do it, but they can be few and far between. Actually, one of the guys in the comments inspired this video. I've always thought about doing it, but he inspired where he was saying I ain't gonna quote him directly, but I think he said something like he'd been in Da Nang for 5 weeks and he's been kind of lonely. The highlights of his day is just walking, and I told him back, that's pretty much my life here too, I don't know if you expect more. What do you want to do? Of course, you want a social life of something, There's a bug in here. You want a social life of some sort, That is human nature, and I do too. So it's hard to push back and come out of your shell and meet some people, but you kind of got to do it. You got to force yourself to do it, or you're going to be kind of lonely and miserable, and you probably won't last too long, and you're going to want to go home or go back to some place where you know everybody. And if you're picking up and moving often, before you really get to meet anybody, this place kind of sucks. Let's get out of here and go try another place. And then that place don't work out. You're never going to meet any permanent friends that way, pretty much. Even my Thai friend here, the first thing she would ever ask me when we went out, she's like, when are you leaving? Because she's just used to all transient people, and probably in the Philippines the same way. They're all going to be like, when are you leaving? And I kept telling her I'm retired. Oh, so when you leaving? Next year? And I said, no, I'm retired. So when you leaving? She just wouldn't believe I'm not leaving. And it may turn out I might leave, so she could be right. But anyway, that's something to do. You really kind of got to work at, get into it. Got some great beaches here in Asia. The people are nice, and they're just shy and afraid of you just as much as you're afraid of them. So if you can come out of your shell and figure out a way to learn the language and talk to them or communicate with them, or show them your phone and try to communicate that way too, that'll work for a minute or two if you want to get their attention. So it's important you do have some creature companionship in one way or another, at least someone to blow off steam and talk to. You can do it online even. That helps me too. For me, a lot of you guys comment in the comment section. That's the most interaction I get all day. So keep them coming, For me, I really don't, and there's other people I see like in other countries too. They're in the same situation. When you move into a country, it's going to take a while before you actually settle in and learn some things and learn something to do. Do just get up and do it though. I try to avoid the hot sun, but after the hot part of the sun, I try to make myself get out. I never stay in all day, never ever. Always out in the morning and always out in the evening. I try to stay out of the afternoon sun. But And I meet my neighbors and I say hi to them and stuff too. And those could develop. Like in the Philippines, I had a buddy next door, and he was from Seattle, and me and him would go downtown and go to the boulevard and go out and eat and stuff. So that was a buddy. He's coming here, by the way, and I might be leaving back to the Philippines right as he comes. But yeah, he'll be a companion. We can go out and eat and show him around. I'll have fun showing him around too. So when I come back, I'll probably do that. But anyway, yeah, be prepared to be lonely, feeling sorry for yourself for about at least 3 or 4 months, maybe a half a year or longer. But you'll eventually start meeting up some people, and when you do get him a good friend, treat him right, and go out and dinner and try to find a good girlfriend. That would really help yourself out too. But don't fall into something that ain't a good relationship either. So just take it slow. You're retired. You're in no hurry for a relationship. You're in no hurry for a bunch of company. You're probably trying to get out of the nightmare you left where it was too much. So just enjoy the peace and quiet for a while, and it'll all come around in the end if it was meant for you. If it was not, you'll know after about 6 or 7 months probably. Well, anyway, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.